Alright guys, so welcome to a new episode of the Road to UTR10. So it's Monday today obviously, and we're going to do a quick rundown of what this week's episode will consist of. I just finished my first workout of the week, Monday. Just did my entire body, legs, upper body. So basically a full body session and finished off with some quick feet. So that's it for today. And then this week will consist of 4 tennis days and including today 2 gym days, and then I'm gonna have a rest day as well. So let me think. I think tomorrow will probably be a training day with the machine, and then Wednesday or Thursday I will try to organize a Liga match here in Al Harin, playing one of the top guys. Let's see if I can do that. If not, I will probably be training with the team instead. And then Friday, it's a big Liga match, the quarterfinal of the playoff. One of my biggest matches this year. I'm really looking forward to that one. It's going to be a really tight one. And Sunday we will be playing Liga EQUIPO. I will probably both be playing singles and doubles, but let's see. And then obviously gym day probably going to be Saturday. I think I will have a gym day, yeah. But let's see. So that's going to be the game plan for this week. Obviously coming off the tournament last week. It's nice to start off soft this week before we get into the matches again. So yeah, that's the game plan for this week, and speaking in general terms, what I do with my training and tennis at the moment is that I have a 3-week cycle I'm doing. So I have 1 week of 5 tennis days and 1 gym session and 1 off day. I have another week with 5 tennis and 2 gym sessions. And then I have a 3rd week with 4 tennis days and 2 gym sessions. So over 3 weeks, I get in 14 tennis sessions and 5 gym sessions. So that's where I'm at the moment. And that's actually been working quite well for a while now. So I think I'll stick to that for a while now. And the reason why I'm doing that is it's also because I'm not quite prepared to train less in the gym than what I'm doing at the moment, because I like to maintain what I have. And for now, I don't think I'll be able to go lower. Let's see. I keep changing my mind over time in terms of that. But for now, I'll stick to this role. I think it works out quite nice for me. So yeah, that's it. Let's get on with the episode, and thank you for watching. Alright guys, so as I promised you in the last episode, I would spend some time to explain actually what is it I'm competing in, what different ligas, different tournaments, what's the formats, because as a lot of my match documentation will refer to these ligas, tournaments. Obviously it makes sense that you guys, if you watch this, that you have an idea of what is it, So let's start from an end of, and then just take one at a time. So let's start with the Liga. So the Liga that I'm playing the most in is the Liga in Fuengirola. It's called Liga Tennis Malaga. And for me, that's the best Liga there is around here, both in terms of how the system is. We don't just play one long Liga group thing. We have 6 cycles, 5 people in every cycle, in every group, in every cycle. And then the best go up and the worst go down, and so you can get promoted and relegated during the season, and you will always get to play against someone at your level. So it's both the best in terms of the system. I think it's really cool to compete in that system, and also the level for Liga tennis. I don't think it's higher anywhere around here. I am and have been a top 3 guy in the Liga now for 2 years, and obviously you guys know that my UTR is just around 8.5. You could argue that the top guy this season, Pedro, maybe he doesn't have a UTR, but you could argue that maybe he was 8.7 or something, So that's in the range, that we are in the top group, and yeah, so I think that's the top level for the Liga systems around here. So definitely my favorite Liga to play in, and also right now my biggest goal is obviously to win this this Liga. So at the moment we're at the playoff, so we play these 6 cycles, and then there's a 5-round playoff with 32 players afterwards. Actually, there's more than 32 players because there's playoff A, B, C, but that's another story. So that's a Liga in Fuengirola, you know, it's a good level. And then we have the Liga in Alharin. So the Liga in Alharin, I play that Liga because it's my local Liga, you know, I play with the team here, you know, so I like to compete here, you know, I'm the defending champ here, so I like to keep my title, and I intend to keep on competing here as well. The thing about the Alharin League is that the level here is it's a little bit more soft, you know, especially at the bottom. You know, there's half the matches is going to be really easy matches, you know. So I haven't fully decided yet how many matches I will be playing this season, but the top level, the top 4 or 5 guys would definitely belong amongst the top groups in Fuengirola as well. Like I said, I'm undefeated. I'm the undefeated champ right now at the moment. I have played here. It's my 3rd season and I haven't lost a match yet, you know, so that means that obviously the top level around here is about what my level is. And I think, you know, the top 4 or 5 guys there's a few of them that have certified UTR ratings around 7.8-ish, you know, so just to get you an idea what the level is in that Liga. And so that's the Liga in Alharin. You know, we play a full group during the season, 13 matches you have to play, and then the top 8 guys go to the playoff, and the playoff will be in a month or something, I think. So that's the Ligas I play individually. Then we have the Liga EQUIPO, so that's for teams around here in Malaga. I play with the Alharin team. I'm the first single there. So we play, you know, these matches where you have four single matches and 2 double matches. So 6 matches, and then you see what team will win. So obviously there's a big group of teams, you know, and then there's going to be a playoff later. The thing about the Liga EQUIPO match is that actually the level for single play here is quite high. You know, there's a lot of good players that doesn't play regular league tennis that actually play the Liga EQUIPO. So I will for sure be having some really tough matches as the first single. So I'm really looking forward to get tested with that. So far I played 2. I lost the first one to a well-known face, you know, Antonio, who used to be the champion for Fuengirola before he stopped there. And then I won easy the last weekend, like you saw. So that's the Ligas I play. So Fuengirola, Alharin, and Liga EQUIPO. The Liga EQUIPO we play every 2nd or 3rd week. Más o menos. So the last thing I play is obviously tournaments, and actually that's where most of my matches is, because there's a lot of matches in one tournament if you do well. So I play mostly on the ATT tour because that's the only place. It's not the only place, but that's the main place to get UTR matches around here. So there's 3 divisions. 3rd division, 2nd division, 1st division. The 3rd division is capped off at 8.5, so I'm just shy of the limit. Explains why I have won 3 titles there and why I'm the first seed this week. And we also have the 2nd division. I think that's for 10.5. It could be 10, it could be 10.5. I can't remember actually. And then we have the 1st division that's capped off at 13, I think. So, obviously, you know, there's a lot of match play going on there, but at the moment I'm mostly competing in the 3rd division. But from this point on, especially when the Liga ends, I will be trying to attend as many 2nd division qualifications as I can, because the qualifications is open for me. And then obviously is to win 1 or 2 matches to get into the main draw. Because in the main draw of all these ATT tournaments, you know, we have 8 players. The 4 highest rated players go directly into the main draw, and the rest of them play qualification to find 4 more players who go into the main draw. And then when you play the tournament, it's double elimination. So that's if you lose in the first round, you can still win the tournament, but you have to go the long way from the lower bracket. So I have done that once or twice, I think, in the 3rd division. So that meant playing, I think I played 6 matches in 7 days. So that was fairly tough, you know. But again, just to say, it's double elimination. It's the format they do there. Anyway, I like it a lot there, obviously because of the UTR thing, but also because we play during the week, and also because I just think it's really good organized, you know. So So yeah, that's great. That's what I'm competing in. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions to all this, then feel free to ask, and I'll be sure to follow up on that. Cheers, guys. Alright guys, so we are here in the garage. I'm just doing some warm up before I'm going to my last training of the week. I'm training with the team in Alherin this evening, and I'm doing my preview video of the match tonight now, because we're playing quite early, so I already have to leave my home tomorrow at 8 o'clock because we play at 9. So yeah, let's see, tomorrow it's the quarterfinal of the Liga in Fuengirola, and for me, it may be one of the biggest matches of the year for me, because the Liga in Fuengirola is my biggest goal to win the Liga, win the playoff there. Last year, I lost in the quarterfinals after having won the first set and having 6-5 in the second set, and then I dropped it in a super tiebreak, So that stung. So I'm hoping I can do better. I'll be really disappointed if I don't make it further than the quarterfinals this year. But the thing is, I haven't been too lucky with my draw, because the one guy that I hope not to play too early was Alejandro, and we're playing tomorrow. So for me, he's probably the guy maybe with the highest top level in the entire league, but obviously he's seeded 6th, so he doesn't always play at his top level, but he's an extremely pure ball striker, both a forehand, backhand. He has a good serve, so it's going to be a difficult match for sure. We have played a lot, we have played 6 matches. The head-to-head is free. We have played 4 fairly recent matches. He's won 7-6, 7-6 in 2 tiebreaks, great match. And then twice I have won the first set and then dropped the match in a super tiebreak. And the last time we played, he won the first set and I took it afterwards in a super tiebreak after coming back. And I remember especially from that match, that it felt like I was playing uphill and he was playing downhill, So when he's on, he hits the ball really well. And that's also why he was one of the few guys in this Liga that I would prefer to wait to play, because it doesn't quite feel like it's only on my record. Even if I was to play the first seed Pedro, who have beaten me several times, I would still feel more comfortable going into that match than I will going into Alejandro, because he's simply just a purer ball striker than all the other guys in the league. So let's see. It's going to be a great match. Obviously, going into matches like this, quarterfinal in a tournament, you really want to win. That's why we play. When you have this feeling, you're not sure if you're going to win or lose. You're not entirely sure how the match will pan out. For me at least, I love competing. So that's going to be awesome to get out there tomorrow, and let's see, who comes up in the big moments. I'm sure it's going to be a tight match again. I do feel fairly confident after now having won my first 7 matches or 8 matches back. I can't remember how many it is. So it's been good for me to get that rhythm from the matches. Having these, I've been at 5 all twice and 4 all twice in the sets, having to close them out, and in the final as well, 6-4, 6-4. So it's been good for me to have these close moments to take into the match tomorrow. So again, let's see who handles it better. Like I said, it's one of my biggest goal of the season to move on here, and yeah, I have a feeling that if I win the match tomorrow, then I'm gonna win the title. That's my feeling at the moment. Because like I said, he's one of the few guys where I don't feel like it's entirely on my record. But if I can get through this, then I feel fairly confident about my chances going on. It's not going to be easy for sure, but I feel like this match is the key. So yeah, let's see, guys. Alright guys, so I have just gotten home after playing the match, the quarterfinal of the Liga. So we just finished like an hour ago and I just got home now. So some thoughts about the match. As you can see now, I'm not sure if you have seen it now actually, because my recording of the match crashed at 5-4 in the second set, so maybe you haven't actually seen the result. But I lost in the super tiebreak, so I lost the first set 6-4, then won the second set 7-5, and lost in the super tiebreak 10-5. So another year, another season, another quarterfinal, and another loss in super tiebreak. So that sucks for sure. So some thoughts about the match. I played Alejandro, and like I said before, I'm not comfortable playing him because obviously he hits really well. So it's not a match on my record, which usually is the case when I play club tennis. Then usually the match is on my record. Obviously it's good to also play matches where it's not on your record, right? But still, when you're not used to that, you don't feel that confident. So the thing is, he hits really well off backhand, off forehand. He serves good. So overall, for sure, stroke by stroke, he's a better player than I am. Though we always do play really, really tight. So this was another super tiebreak. We've had 4 in a row now, I think, of those. So we are really close. And what makes us close is probably that my serve is probably a little bit better than his, for sure. And then, even though I'm a bigger guy than him, then I move quite well. I bring back a lot of balls. And also, he doesn't face a ball like mine often, So I play with a lot of top spin, a lot of lifted balls, a lot of slice also. So I give him a lot of different balls, and obviously it's hard to find a rhythm against me. And I'm a match player, so I usually find ways to win, right? Even though my strokes aren't that clean, then I usually find ways to win. So I guess that's pretty uncomfortable to play against, especially when I have a good serve like I do. But yeah, today it was a tough setting. It was, like I mentioned before the match, this may have been the most important match for me of the season. Even more important if I went further on to the semifinal and to the finals, because it was like I really wanted to go further than the last year, and I knew this would be the difficult match. So the quarterfinal was, I was really tight, the entire first set, I was so tight. My strokes wasn't loose at all. I hit my forehand so bad. I don't think I hit one backhand, double-handed backhand. I don't think I hit one. During the entire match, I think I had 2 or 3. And that's usually a sign of that I'm really tight, I'm really nervous. I don't have any confidence in it as soon as I get nervous. So even, doesn't matter how good I hit it at practice then, you just can't practice being this nervous / tight, The last time I remember being like this was in the 3rd set of the final on the ATT, where I won the final against Fran. There I didn't hit the backhand the entire 3rd set either, even though I have hit it really good for the 1st and the 2nd set, So it's crazy how your bad habits just come out when you're tight, right? But anyway, first set, even though I really felt off, I managed to keep it tight, and we went to 5-4, and he then served it home. So in the 2nd set, luckily I held on to my serve, because I did get broken early in the first set, So in the 2nd set, I was leading from the get-go, and that just changes so much for me when I'm leading. So I was leading 1-0 and then 1-1, where I had several breakpoints, and then 2-1 I broke into 3-1, I had 4-1, and then I had double 3 breakpoints I think I had to go up 5-1. But then I dropped the game 4-2, and then he broke me 4-3, and we were 4-4, where I again had breakpoints I think, or maybe not, I can't remember. And then I held serve 5-4, and I had set points at 5-4. He makes it 5-5. I serve it to 6-5. I can't remember that game actually. And then I break him to 7-5, So I was leading all the way through. As soon as I got close to going up 3-1, I got more loose for sure, In the 2nd set, for sure, I started playing better. I hit my forehand better. Though I did also feel that he got extremely tight, He didn't play a really good match either, nor did I, I think both of us can play a lot better, but maybe that was just because I was tight, and maybe because of the crappy balls I gave him, then he got out of the rhythm. I don't know. But the thing is, in the super tiebreak, he stepped up. Even though I had a 3-1 lead, I decided to be really aggressive, and then I miss a serve and volley. I have the volley on my forehand, and I miss it wide. If I make that volley, I'm up 4-1. But no, I missed the volley. It's 3-2, and then he comes up with 2 big serves, and he wins a lot of straight points, unfortunately. So I think he goes up 8-4, 9-4, and then he wins it 10-5. So yeah, not much to say, it's a shame, but it is what it is. And yeah, again, I think it's different with the playoffs matches here, because I really want to win this Liga, and it's not like on the ATT tour, for example, where I can always sign up for another tournament. I have to wait an entire year now for the playoff. We have to play